Picture yourself on the deck of a weathered ship, the horizon swallowed by a raging storm. The wind howls, waves crash against the hull, and every instinct screams to turn back to seek the safety of the shore. Why does staying the course feel like a battle against your very nature? Why do you falter when the path grows rough? In the heart of this chaos, you are the navigator tasked with steering through the tempest. Consistency. Your unyielding grip on the wheel is the only way to reach the distant shore of your dreams. But let's be honest, holding steady feels like an impossible weight, a burden that pulls you off course with every gust of doubt. Welcome to the Weight of Wandering, the first step in uncovering the secrets to staying consistent, no matter what. Here we confront the raw truth. Consistency is hard, and straying from your path is often easier than pressing forward. You've felt it, the urge to abandon your goals when the storm rages, when progress seems invisible. But I'm here to tell you that the chaos isn't your enemy, it's your proving ground. Let's dive into why you wander, why the pull to give up feels so strong, and how, like a steadfast navigator, you can chart your course through any storm. Imagine yourself as a writer seated at a cluttered desk, a half-written novel glowing on the screen. For weeks, you've poured your soul into every word, crafting characters that breathe, weaving plots that pulse with life. The first month was a blaze of inspiration. Ideas flowed like a river after spring rain. But now 30 days in the fire dims. No one has read your work, no feedback, no validation, just the echo of your own doubts whispering, "Is this even good?" Why bother? The silence is suffocating. You stare at the blinking cursor and a wave of exhaustion hits. Life creeps in, bills, errands, distractions, and you think, "I'll write tomorrow." Tomorrow turns into a week, then a month. The novel sits abandoned, a ship lost in the fog, its destination forgotten. This is the weight of wandering. You strayed not because you lacked talent, but because the storm of self-doubt battered your resolve. Consistency demands you write even when no one cheers, even when the page feels like a wall. As Napoleon Hill wrote in Think and Grow Rich, persistence is to the character of man as carbon is to steel. Without it, your dreams remain raw, unshaped. The lesson here is clear. Like a navigator in a storm, you must hold the wheel, writing one word, one sentence, even when the seas of uncertainty rage. The shore, your finished story, is closer than you think, but only if you stay the course. Now picture yourself as a fitness enthusiast lacing up your sneakers for the first time in years. You've committed to a healthier life, a stronger body. The gym buzzes with energy, and for the first 2 weeks, you're unstoppable, lifting weights, running miles, feeling the burn as proof of progress. But life happens. A busy week at work, a missed workout, then 2. Guilt creeps in like a shadow. You step on the scale, no change. You flex in the mirror, nothing. "I've lost it all," you mutter. What's the point? The momentum you built feels like a sandcastle washed away by the tide. So you stop. The gym bag gathers dust and your vision of strength slips through your fingers. Here again is the weight of wandering, the pull to abandon ship when the storm of disappointment strikes. Consistency isn't about perfection, it's about returning even after a detour. You didn't lose everything, every step, every rep carved a foundation beneath you. Like a navigator thrown off course by a rogue wave, you must reset your bearings and sail on. As James Clear reminds us in Atomic Habits, you don't have to be perfect, you just have to show up. The shore of your fittest self awaits, but only if you refuse to drift with the current of despair. Why does staying consistent feel like carrying a mountain on your shoulders? Why do you stray when the path was once so clear? Let's strip this down to its core. You wander because the human mind craves comfort over challenge, instant reward over delayed triumph. When the storm hits, be it doubt, failure, or silence, your instinct is to seek shelter, to abandon the wheel and let the ship drift. But here's the truth. Consistency isn't a burden. It's a blade you sharpen with every choice to keep going. It's the act of steering through the chaos, knowing that every wave you conquer builds your strength for the next. Think of yourself as that navigator gripping the wheel while the tempest roars. The storm isn't just outside, it's within. It's the voice that says, "You're not enough," or "This isn't worth it." But what if that voice is wrong? What if the storm is the very forge that shapes you into someone unbreakable? Consistency is not about avoiding the chaos, it's about learning to sail through it. When you stray, you don't just lose progress, You lose the chance to become the captain of your own destiny. So ask yourself, how many storms have you fled from only to wonder what lay beyond the horizon? Another reason you wander is the illusion that a single misstep erases everything. You miss a day a week and suddenly you believe the journey's over. But let's shatter that lie. Progress isn't a straight line. It's a jagged ascent up a cliff face. Every step forward, even if followed by a stumble, etches a mark on the rock. You don't fall back to the bottom, you pause, you adjust, you climb again. The storm may obscure your view, but it doesn't erase the miles you've sailed. As a navigator, you know this: a detour doesn't mean defeat. A rogue wave may push you off course, but the map remains the destination unchanged. Consistency is the courage to recalibrate, to grip the wheel after being tossed by the sea. Reflect on this. How many times have you quit believing you've lost it all, when in truth you were one turn from calm waters? The weight of wandering comes from this illusion, this false belief that progress vanishes. It doesn't. It waits for you to return to steer once more toward the shore of your purpose. When the weight of wandering threatens to pull you off course, you need an anchor, a way to ground yourself amid the storm. Here's how to start. First, pause before you quit. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, am I walking away from a challenge, or am I one step from a breakthrough? Write down your answer. Seeing your thoughts on paper cuts through the fog of emotion. Second, revisit your why. Why did you start this journey? Was it to write a story that moves hearts, to build a body that defies limits? Let that original fire reignite your resolve. Third, take one small action. If you're a writer, type one sentence. If you're training, do one push-up. Small moves remind you that the wheel is still in your hands. Consistency isn't built in grand gestures. It's forged in tiny, deliberate choices. When the storm of doubt roars, anchor yourself with these steps. You're not adrift, you're still the navigator, and every small turn of the wheel brings you closer to your shore. Another way to combat the weight of wandering is to chart your course each day, no matter how small the progress. Grab a notebook or an app and set one clear intention for the day tied to your goal. If you're writing, commit to 100 words. If you're training, aim for a 10-minute walk. Then at day's end, mark it done. This isn't about perfection. It's about proof to yourself that you're still sailing even if the winds are against you. When you chart your course daily, you create a map of your journey. Each checkmark is a beacon in the storm, a reminder that you're moving even if the shore feels far. As Stephen R. Covey wrote in The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, begin with the end in mind. Know your destination, but focus on the daily steering. One day at a time, you'll outlast any tempest. Let's end this exploration with a final truth. The storm isn't here to break you. It's here to teach you. Every moment you feel the weight of wandering, every time you're tempted to stray, you're being schooled in resilience. Consistency isn't the absence of struggle. It's the mastery of it. Like a navigator who learns the sea's patterns, through every gale you learn your own strength, through every doubt, every detour. Pain isn't your enemy, it's your compass pointing you back to the wheel. Ask yourself this: what if every storm you faced was preparing you for a greater voyage? What if the weight of wandering is the very thing that builds the muscle of persistence? You are not just surviving the chaos, you're becoming the captain who can weather anything. Hold fast. The storm is temporary, but the lessons it carves into your soul are eternal. In the weight of wandering, we face the raw reality of why consistency feels so hard and why straying from the path is often the easier choice. Through the stories of the writer and the fitness enthusiast, we've seen how doubt and disappointment can toss us off course. Through reflection, we've uncovered the illusions that fuel our wandering, the craving for comfort, the myth of lost progress, and the fear of the storm. And through practical steps, we've armed ourselves with anchors and daily charts to keep steering forward. The takeaway is this: consistency isn't about avoiding the storm. It's about learning to navigate through it, knowing the shore of your dreams lies just beyond the next wave. You are the navigator of your life. Grip the wheel, face the chaos. Every turn, every choice to keep going brings you closer to your destination. As we move forward in uncovering the secrets to staying consistent, no matter what, remember that the storm is not your end, it's your beginning. Let's sail on together, ready to conquer whatever lies ahead. Steer through the storm. Your shore is closer than you see. Picture this: a solitary mason stands before a vast empty field, a single brick in hand. The wind howls and the task looms, a fortress to build, a legacy to forge. It seems impossible, doesn't it? How can one brick, one small act, stand against the weight of time and doubt? Yet this is where your power lies. In the quiet, uncelebrated moments of laying that first brick, you begin to craft something unshakable. Welcome to the hidden power of small steps, a secret to staying consistent no matter what. You don't need to conquer mountains in a single leap. You need only to place one brick, then another, until the walls of your dreams rise before you. Feel that fire stirring within. It's the realization that every tiny effort, every seemingly insignificant choice, compounds into a force that nothing can tear down. Let's uncover this truth together: how the smallest actions repeated with unwavering resolve build fortresses of success in your life. Imagine yourself as a student staring at a textbook filled with unfamiliar words, a new language, a new world. The task feels like scaling a sheer cliff with no rope. You're busy, overwhelmed with a schedule that barely leaves room to breathe. Yet you carve out 20 minutes each day, just 20 to learn. You stumble over pronunciations, mix up verbs, and laugh at your own clumsy sentences. Friends tease, "Why bother? You'll never use it." Doubt creeps in like a shadow at dusk. But you keep at it. Day after day, you lay your bricks, those 20 minutes of focus, building a wall no one else can see. Fast forward a year. You're sitting in a cafe halfway across the world, ordering food in that same language, laughing with locals, understanding their stories. Fluency isn't just a skill now, it's a bridge to connection, a door to opportunity. How did this happen? It wasn't a sudden leap or a stroke of genius. It was the compound effect of those small, steady minutes. Each day you added a brick to your fortress of knowledge, and now it stands tall, unshakable against the storms of doubt. As Darren Hardy wrote in The Compound Effect: smart choices plus consistency plus time, radical difference. You didn't just learn a language, you learned the power of persistence. The lesson is clear: every tiny step, no matter how small, builds toward a legacy of mastery if you refuse to stop. Now picture yourself as someone scraping by paycheck to paycheck, dreaming of financial freedom, but feeling trapped by endless expenses. You decide to save, but not in grand gestures. There's no windfall to rely on. Instead, you set aside a small amount each week, maybe the cost of a coffee or a quick lunch out. It feels trivial, almost laughable. What can a few dollars do against the towering debts or unexpected emergencies? Friends splurge on weekends, urging you to join, and temptation pulls hard. Live a little, they say. But you hold firm. You lay your brick week after week, tucking away that small sum into a quiet account. Months pass, then years. One day, an emergency strikes: a car repair, a medical bill. While others scramble, you reach into your savings, that fortress you built brick by brick, and cover the cost without breaking a sweat. What started as a few dollars has grown into a cushion of security, a wall of peace that shields you from life's sudden storms. You realize now it wasn't about the amount, it was about the habit. Each small act of saving compounded just as a mason's bricks compound into a stronghold. The lesson echoes: consistency in the smallest choices creates a legacy of strength. Your financial fortress isn't just money, it's proof that staying consistent, no matter what, transforms scarcity into abundance. Let's pause and reflect. What if the secret to your greatest achievements isn't in the dramatic, the loud, or the immediate? What if it's hidden in the mundane, the quiet repetition of small steps? Think of the mason laying bricks for a fortress. Each brick seems insignificant alone, barely a speck against the vast blueprint of a towering structure. Yet place one after another, day after day, and something emerges that can withstand centuries. This is the compound effect, the silent strength that builds your life when you're not looking. It's not about speed, it's about rhythm. It's not about perfection, it's about presence. Every time you choose to act, no matter how small the effort, you're adding to a foundation that grows stronger with time. Consider the river carving through stone. It doesn't shatter the rock in a single rush. It wears it down drop by drop until a canyon stands as its legacy. You are that river. Your small steps, those minutes of study, those dollars, saved, those moments of discipline, are the drops that shape your future. How often have you dismissed a small action as meaningless? How many times have you stopped because the results weren't instant? The truth is, consistency doesn't shout its victories. It whispers them over time until one day you look back and see the fortress you've built. Pain, doubt, and delay are not your enemies. They're the mortar that binds your bricks together. Embrace them. Keep laying your bricks, for they are the secret to staying consistent no matter what. In a world obsessed with instant gratification, staying consistent feels like swimming against a raging current. Everywhere you turn, distractions beckon quick fixes, shiny shortcuts, voices telling you to abandon your slow, steady work. Why build a fortress when you can rent a castle for a day? But let's ask what lasts. A rented castle crumbles when the lease ends. But a fortress built brick by brick with your own hands stands as a testament to your resolve. The mason doesn't seek applause for each brick laid. He seeks the vision of a completed stronghold. So must you. Consistency isn't glamorous. It's gritty. It's showing up when no one watches, when the world scoffs, when even your own heart questions why. Think of your life as a half-built wall. Some days the bricks feel heavy, the progress invisible. But stop now and the wall remains unfinished, vulnerable to the first storm. Keep going and you create something no force can topple. As Stephen Covey once said in The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, sow a thought, reap an action, sow an action, reap a habit, sow a habit, reap a character, sow a character, reap a destiny. Your small steps are the seeds of your destiny. They compound not just into results, but into who you become. So when distraction pulls, remember the mason's quiet focus. Lay your brick today. Let tomorrow's fortress be your answer to today's doubts. Now let's get practical. How do you harness the hidden power of small steps in your own life? Start simple. Choose one area where you want to grow, be it a skill, a habit, or a goal. Break it down to the smallest possible action, something so manageable it feels almost effortless. Want to get fit? Commit to 5 push-ups a day. Want to write a book? Write 1 sentence each morning. The key isn't the size of the step, it's the certainty of taking it. Schedule this action into your day as if it's non-negotiable, like brushing your teeth. Tie it to a trigger after your morning coffee before bed to anchor it in routine. Track your progress not for perfection, but for proof. Use a notebook or an app to mark each day you lay your brick. When doubt creeps in, and it will look at those marks. They're evidence of your consistency, a reminder that you're building something greater. If you miss a day, don't spiral into guilt. Just pick up the next brick and place it. Remember, a fortress isn't built in a single day, but in the steady rhythm of many. Start now. Choose your first small step. Lay that brick today and let the compound effect work its quiet magic. Consistency isn't just about action. It's about protecting your resolve from life's inevitable storms. Distractions, setbacks, and self-doubt will test you. So build a shield. First, identify your triggers, those moments or people that pull you off course. Is it social media? A negative friend, late night fatigue? Write them down. Awareness is your first defense. Next, create a barrier. If scrolling steals your time, set a timer or lock your phone during your bricklaying moments. If negativity drains you, limit exposure and surround yourself with voices that fuel your fire. Finally, anchor yourself with a why. Why are you building this fortress? Is it freedom, growth, security for your family? Write this reason somewhere visible, a sticky note on your desk, a reminder on your phone. When the storm hits, read it. Let it steady you. As Robin Sharma reminds us in The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, your I can is more important than your IQ. Believe in your ability to keep going one small step at a time. Guard your focus like a mason guards his blueprint. Each brick you lay, protected from distractions, strengthens not just your goal, but your will to endure no matter what. Before we close, let's linger on a final truth. The power of small steps often goes unseen, uncelebrated, until the fortress stands complete. The world doesn't applaud the student's 20 minutes of study or the saver's weekly deposit. It only marvels at the end: fluency, security, success. But you know the real story. You know the nights of quiet effort, the mornings of pushing through fatigue, the days of choosing discipline over ease. That's your legacy, not just the result, but the person you become through the process. The mason doesn't just build a fortress, he builds himself, his patience, his grit, his vision. What are you building in silence that the world hasn't yet seen? What small steps are you taking that feel invisible but are forging something eternal? Consistency is your craft, and every brick you lay is a stroke of artistry. Time is the canvas, and your actions are the paint. Trust the compound effect. Trust that each small act, though unseen, is stacking into a masterpiece. You are the mason of your life. Keep building, for the legacy you create will outlast any storm, any doubt, any fleeting temptation to quit. As we step back from the field where the mason works, let's carry this truth with us. The hidden power of small steps is the secret to staying consistent no matter what. You've seen it in the student who built fluency with 20 minutes a day, in the saver who crafted security with weekly deposits. You felt it in the quiet rhythm of laying one brick after another, knowing each act compounds into a fortress of strength. The key lesson, takeaway, is your guide. It reminds you that greatness isn't born in grand gestures, but in the steady, unrelenting choice to show up, to act, to build. As we move forward, prepare to explore how to sustain this momentum, even when the winds of challenge grow fiercer. For now, hold fast to the mason's wisdom. Your fortress is rising brick by brick, stronger with every step you take. Lay your brick today, your fortress awaits. Picture a blacksmith's forge, the air thick with heat, the hammer's relentless clang echoing through the darkness. You stand there, raw iron in hand, facing a fire that threatens to consume you. This is not just a workshop, it's the battleground of your mind. Doubt, fear, impatience. These are the flames licking at your resolve. Will you shrink back, or will you strike? In the relentless pursuit of consistency, these internal barriers are your greatest foes. But here's the secret: every blow you land, every moment you endure, transforms that raw, unshaped potential into unbreakable strength. Welcome to the forge of your soul. In this section of Secrets to Staying Consistent, no matter what, we dive into the heart of the struggle, forging through the fire of doubt. You're about to learn how to wield your will like a hammer, shaping your destiny with every deliberate strike. Feel the heat. Embrace it. This is where you become unstoppable. Imagine you're a small business owner pouring your heart into a dream that feels like it's slipping through your fingers. You've opened a quaint bakery in a quiet corner of town, your hands dusted with flour, your nights spent perfecting recipes. But the customers don't come as quickly as you'd hoped. Bills pile up like storm clouds on the horizon. A competitor opens nearby, and whispers of failure creep into your thoughts. Maybe I'm not cut out for this, you mutter, staring at an empty storefront. Fear grips you, fear of ruin, of judgment, of wasted years. Impatience gnaws at your spirit. You want success now, not in some distant future. And self-sabotage, that sly thief, urges you to give up before the next sunrise. But one evening, exhausted and on the brink of surrender, you pick up a worn journal. You begin to write one sentence at first, then a page. You pour out your fears, your frustrations, but also your vision, the laughter of families sharing your pastries, the warmth of a thriving business. Each night, no matter how bleak the day you write, you refocus. You remind yourself why you started. Slowly, the journal becomes your anchor. It doesn't erase the setbacks, another slow week at broken oven, but it shifts your gaze from the flames of doubt to the iron of your purpose. You adjust. You market differently. You connect with customers one smile at a time. Months pass, and the bakery begins to hum with life. Not because the fire of doubt vanished, but because you learned to forge through it. This is the blacksmith's lesson. Consistency isn't about avoiding the heat. It's about striking the iron even when it burns. Your journal became your hammer, each entry a blow that shaped your raw resolve into strength. The takeaway echoes through the forge: repeated effort, no matter how small, tempers your spirit against the doubts that threaten to break you. Now see yourself as an artist, pencil in hand, staring at a blank page that feels like a void. Once ideas flowed like a river, but now a creative block looms like a dam, holding everything back. You've promised yourself a gallery show, a chance to share your vision with the world, but every sketch feels wrong, every line a mockery of your talent. Fear whispers that you've lost your gift. Impatience demands instant brilliance. Why can't you create like you used to? And self-sabotage, ever present, tempts you to abandon your easel for good. No one will care, it sneers. You're ready to toss your pencils into the nearest drawer and walk away. But instead you make a pact with yourself, one sketch a day. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to exist. The first day your hand trembles and the drawing is clumsy, a child's scribble. Doubt laughs, but you sketch again the next day, and the next. Some days the page is a mess. Others a faint spark of your old magic flickers. Weeks turn to months and slowly confidence rebuilds like embers catching flame. That daily commitment, that single strike of the hammer chips away at the block. By the time the gallery show arrives, your portfolio isn't just full, it's alive with pieces forged in the fire of persistence. Like the blacksmith tempering iron, you didn't wait for inspiration to strike. You struck until inspiration emerged. Each sketch was a blow shaping your raw talent into something enduring. The lesson rings clear: consistency transforms even the heaviest doubts into stepping stones of strength, as long as you keep showing up. Let's pause in the forge for a moment. Consider the fire of doubt that burns within you. Fear, impatience, self-sabotage. These are not invaders. They are part of the raw material of your being. They test you just as the blacksmith's flame tests the iron. How often have you fled from this heat seeking the cool comfort of distraction or surrender? How many visions have you left unshaped because the fire felt too fierce? Yet here's the truth: that fire is not your enemy. It's your ally. It reveals what must be burned away: your hesitation, your excuses, and it hardens what remains: your resolve. Think of doubt as a storm rolling over a vast mountain. The winds howl, the rain lashes, but the mountain stands carved stronger by every tempest. You are that mountain. Fear may shake you, impatience may erode your patience, but with each consistent effort, you become more unyielding. As Napoleon Hill wrote in Think and Grow Rich, every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. The fire of doubt is your adversity, but consistency is the seed. Water it with daily action and watch it grow into a strength that no storm can topple. So ask yourself, what fire are you avoiding today? Step into it. Let it forge you. Now listen to the rhythm of the blacksmith's hammer, steady, unyielding, deliberate. There's no rush in its cadence, no frantic desperation. It knows that transformation takes time. So why do you rush? Impatience is a thief, stealing your focus, convincing you that results must come instantly or not at all. It blinds you to the beauty of the process, to the slow, sacred work of shaping your potential. Self-sabotage, too, lurks in the shadows, whispering that one missed strike means failure. But the blacksmith doesn't falter when a blow lands imperfectly. He strikes again and again. Your journey of consistency mirrors this rhythm. It's not about perfection, it's about persistence. Think of your goals as a cathedral in progress. Each brick laid, no matter how small, builds toward a masterpiece. Fear may tremble your hands, but lay the brick anyway. Impatience may urge you to abandon the blueprint, but return to it. As James Allen reminds us in As a Man Thinketh, a man's mind may be likened to a garden, which may be intelligently cultivated or allowed to run wild. Cultivate yours with the steady rhythm of effort. What doubts are disrupting your rhythm right now? How can you strike again, even if the blow feels weak? Remember, every strike counts. Keep forging. When fear roars like a furnace threatening to melt your resolve, you don't need to fight it head on. You need a tool to temper it. Here's a simple, actionable step: create a fear inventory. Take a quiet moment, 5 minutes at the start or end of your day, and write down every fear holding you back. Be specific. Is it fear of failure? Fear of judgment? Name it. Then beside each fear, write one reason it's unfounded or one small action you can take to face it. If you fear failing at a project, note that failure is just feedback and commit to one tiny step forward, like drafting a single paragraph or making one phone call. This practice isn't about erasing fear, it's about forging through it. Like the blacksmith who doesn't extinguish the fire but uses it, you channel fear into focus. Repeat this daily or weekly until the list shrinks, not because the fears vanish, but because your courage outgrows them. Consistency in facing fear builds a shield stronger than any doubt. So pick up your pen, face the flame. What's one fear you can temper today? Impatience is a spark that can ignite a wildfire of frustration, burning your progress to ash. To cool it, adopt the one stone method. When you're tempted to rush or quit because results aren't immediate, pause. Visualize your goal as a towering wall you're building stone by stone. Ask yourself, what's one stone I can place right now? Break your task into the smallest possible action, writing one sentence, walking for 5 minutes, organizing one drawer. Do it, then stop. Celebrate that single stone. This method rewires your mind to value progress over perfection. It mirrors the blacksmith's patience. Each strike shapes the iron, even if the final form isn't yet visible. Over time, those small stones stack into something monumental. Consistency isn't a sprint, it's a steady build. So when impatience flares, breathe. Pick up one stone, place it. What's your next small step? Take it now and trust the wall will rise. Finally, let's confront the heaviest weight in the forge: self-sabotage. It's the hidden crack in your iron, the voice that says, "You're not enough," or "Why even try?" It's not loud like fear or restless like impatience. It's quiet, insidious, slipping into your thoughts when you're most vulnerable. But here's a revelation: self-sabotage isn't a flaw, it's a signal. It points to beliefs or wounds you've yet to heal. The blacksmith doesn't discard cracked iron, he mends it, strengthens it through heat and effort. You can do the same. Think of your mind as a riverbed carved by years of thought patterns. Self-sabotage is an old worn path the water keeps following. Consistency is your chance to carve a new one. Each time you choose action over avoidance, you redirect the flow. It's slow work, but rivers shape canyons over time. As Stephen Covey wrote in The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, sow a thought, reap an action. Sow an action, reap a habit. What thought are you sowing today? What old path can you abandon for a new one? Strike at self-sabotage with small repeated efforts and watch the iron of your will become unbreakable. You've stood in the forge of doubt, felt the heat of fear, impatience, and self-sabotage, and learned to wield the hammer of consistency. Through the stories of the baker and the artist, you've seen that internal barriers are not walls, but raw material iron waiting to be shaped. Through reflection, you've discovered that the fire isn't your foe. It's your teacher tempering your spirit with every strike. And through practical steps, you've armed yourself with tools to face the flames. One journal entry, one sketch, one stone at a time. The takeaway of this journey is clear: consistency is the hammer that forges strength from struggle, transforming doubt into power through repeated, relentless effort. As you leave this forge, carry its heat with you. You're not done tempering. The next section will challenge you to sustain this fire in the face of external storms. But for now, stand tall. Know that every blow you've landed has made you stronger. Repeat this mantra as you move forward. Let it echo in your bones. Strike again. Your strength is being forged. Picture a fragile flame flickering in the heart of a relentless gale. The wind howls, threatening to snuff out that tiny spark, yet somehow it holds. You are that flame, burning with purpose, surrounded by the storms of distraction, endless notifications, urgent demands, and the chaos of a world that never slows. How do you keep your light alive? In this battle for consistency, your greatest weapon lies in the tools you wield to shield yourself from the tempest and nurture your inner fire. Welcome to a journey of weathering the storms of distraction, a vital chapter in uncovering the secrets to staying consistent no matter what. You've felt the pull of chaos, the weight of 1,000 voices vying for your attention. But today you learn to stand firm, to protect your spark, and let it grow into an unquenchable blaze. Let's dive into the art of focus, the craft of resilience, and the power of unwavering dedication. You're not just surviving the storm, you're mastering it. Imagine you're a single parent juggling a full-time job, a household of endless needs, and a dream that refuses to die, earning a degree to build a better future. Every day the chaos swarms: children needing help with homework, bills piling up, and a boss who expects overtime. Your energy is drained, your eyes heavy yet deep within a flame flickers. That dream, that vision of walking across a stage in a cap and gown keeps you awake. So you carve out a sacred hour each night after the kids are asleep, when the house falls silent. It's non-negotiable. The dishes can wait. The laundry can pile. From 11 p.m. to midnight, you sit at the kitchen table, textbooks open, laptop glowing, pouring every ounce of focus into your studies. The storm rages outside this hour. A friend calls with drama. Social media beckons with mindless scrolling. Exhaustion whispers, just sleep. You're too tired, but you don't flinch. You've set a boundary, a fortress around this time, and nothing breaches it. Some nights you only manage a single page of reading. Other nights inspiration strikes and you write an entire essay. Progress isn't always loud, but it's there in the quiet persistence of showing up. One semester turns to 2, then 3. Years later, you stand on that stage diploma in hand, knowing that flame nurtured in the wind of distraction grew because you shielded it with consistency. The lesson burns bright, protect your time like a treasure, for even the smallest spark guarded fiercely can light up your world. Now step into the shoes of a creative professional, a writer, designer, or artist whose livelihood depends on deep, uninterrupted focus. Your days are a battlefield of distractions. Emails flood your inbox, phone notifications buzz like angry hornets, and colleagues drop by with quick questions that steal hours. Your masterpiece, the project that could define your career, sits unfinished, buried under the weight of external noise. But you decide enough is enough. You draw a line in the sand. You turn off every notification, silence your phone, and set a clear boundary from 9 a.m. to noon. This is your sacred creative window. No one enters. No digital intruder is allowed. You tell your team, I'm unavailable during these hours unless it's an emergency. At first it feels uncomfortable. Guilt creeps in. What if you miss something urgent? But you hold firm. The first day you feel the difference. Without the constant interruptions, your mind dives deep into the work. Ideas flow like a river breaking through a dam. You create more in 3 hours than you did in an entire week. The storm of distractions still rages outside. Unread messages pile up. The world keeps spinning. But inside your fortress, your flame burns brighter. Weeks pass and your project takes shape. Clients notice the quality. Your confidence soars. As author Cal Newport reminds us in Deep Work, the ability to perform deep work is becoming increasingly rare. At exactly the same time, it is becoming increasingly valuable. You've nurtured your spark by building walls against chaos, proving that consistency isn't just about showing up, it's about showing up with unshakable focus. The takeaway is clear boundaries are your shield, and within them your fire grows fierce. Let's pause and reflect. Distraction isn't just an annoyance, it's a force of nature, a wind that tests the strength of your flame. Think of it as a teacher, not an enemy. Every interruption, every pull on your attention is a lesson in resolve. How often have you let the gusts of urgency blow you off course? How many times have you abandoned your focus for a fleeting demand that in truth could wait? The storm of distraction reveals your weaknesses, but it also forges your strength. Like a flame nurtured in the wind, consistency doesn't mean the absence of chaos, it means learning to burn brighter despite it. Consider the nature of fire itself. A spark left exposed to every breeze will die, but one cupped in careful hands, shielded with intention, grows into a blaze. Your dreams, your goals are that spark. The wind of distraction, be it technology obligations or self-doubt, will never cease. But you have the power to build a shelter around your purpose. You can choose where to place your energy, what to let in, and what to block out. Consistency is your hand guarding that fragile light until it roars. So ask yourself, are you letting the wind dictate your path, or are you shaping it to fuel your fire? Dive deeper with me. We live in an age that glorifies the juggler, the multitasker who seems to handle a dozen things at once. But let's shatter this illusion. Multitasking isn't mastery. It's a myth that scatters your flame into 1,000 weak embers, none strong enough to survive the wind. When you split your focus, you dilute your power. You answer an email while writing a report, scroll social media while studying, and wonder why nothing feels complete. Distraction wears a seductive mask promising productivity, but it delivers only chaos. True consistency demands singularity. Like a flame that grows only when fed steady oxygen, your progress thrives on undivided attention. Think of the great builders of history, those who crafted cathedrals stone by stone, not by rushing between 10 projects, but by pouring their soul into one task at a time. What would happen if you gave your full self to a single pursuit, even for an hour? What could you create if you silenced the noise and let your flame burn pure? Consistency isn't about doing more. It's about doing what matters with everything you've got. Shield your focus and watch your spark transform into a wildfire. Now let's arm you with a tool to weather any storm. Distraction thrives on access, so deny it entry. Start by crafting a fortress of focus, a specific time or space where nothing but your purpose exists. Choose 1 hour each day or one corner of your home and declare it sacred. Turn off notifications. Silence your phone. If you work with others, communicate your boundaries. I'm unavailable during this window. If you're at home, let your family know this is your untouchable time. The world will push back at first, it always does, but stand firm. Next, prepare your mind before entering this fortress. Take 2 minutes to breathe deeply and set an intention. For this hour, I focus only on this task. Write it down if you must. When distractions creep in, and they will pause, don't react. Redirect your attention to your flame, your purpose. One practical trick is to keep a notepad nearby. If a random thought or urgent task pops into your head, jot it down and return to your work. Don't let it derail you. As James Allen wrote in, "As a man thinketh." A man's mind may be likened to a garden, which may be intelligently cultivated or allowed to run wild. Cultivate your focus. Protect your flame. Consistency grows in the soil of discipline. Here's another weapon for your arsenal: tame the digital tempest. Technology, while a tool, often becomes the fiercest wind against your flame. Emails, social media, endless alerts, they fragment your attention until your focus is dust. Take control. Start by auditing your digital habits. For 1 day, track how often you check your phone or get pulled into apps. You'll be shocked at the numbers. Then set limits. Use features like Do Not Disturb during your focused hours. Install apps that block distracting sites if self-control wavers. Create a ritual to signal the start of deep work. Perhaps it's closing all unnecessary tabs, wearing noise-canceling headphones, or placing your phone in another room. Make it physical. Action reinforces intent. If an urgent message looms in your mind, schedule a specific time to address it later. Remember, urgency is often an illusion. Most things can wait. Your flame cannot. Consistency isn't just about time. It's about the quality of that time. Shield your attention from the digital storm, and you'll find your spark burns brighter than ever. As Tony Robbins often says, where focus goes, energy flows. Direct yours wisely. You've journeyed through the storms of distraction, learning to shield your inner flame with unyielding resolve. You've seen a parent carve out a midnight hour, a professional build a silent fortress, and you've uncovered the truth. Consistency isn't about avoiding chaos, but mastering it with practical tools and fierce boundaries. The key lesson, takeaway, echoes in every story and reflection. Distraction will always howl like a relentless wind, but you now hold the power to nurture your spark, to let it grow into a blaze that no storm can extinguish. Protect your time, guard your focus, build your walls high, and let nothing tear them down. As you move forward, carry this mantra into the next challenge, the next gust, the next test of your will. Let it remind you that even the smallest light, when tended with care, can illuminate the darkest path. Guard your flame. Let it blaze through any wind. You stand at the base of a towering mountain, its peak shrouded in mist, a silent giant daring you to climb. The path ahead is jagged, the ascent steep, and every fiber of your being questions if you're strong enough to reach the summit. But here's the truth: every deliberate step, no matter how slow, carves your name into the stone of history. You are not just climbing a mountain, you are forging an unshakable will. Welcome to the summit of transformation, where the long-term impact of unwavering consistency reveals itself as your greatest triumph. In this journey of secrets to staying consistent, no matter what, we celebrate the power of persistence, the quiet, relentless force that turns dreams into legacies. Feel the weight of every step you've taken, every sacrifice you've made. They are not burdens. They are the building blocks of your victory. You've battled storms of doubt, navigated valleys of failure, and pressed on when the world told you to stop. Now, as you near the peak, you see that consistency isn't just a habit. It's the fire that transforms you into who you were always meant to be. Let's ascend together and witness the breathtaking view of what steadfast resolve can achieve. Picture yourself at the starting line of a marathon, the air crisp, your heart pounding like a war drum. But this isn't just any race. This is the culmination of years of early mornings when the world slept and you laced up your shoes in the dark. You remember the first run, your legs burned, your lungs screamed, and doubt was a shadow that refused to leave. Why keep going? The finish line felt like a mirage, always slipping further away. Yet you returned day after day through rain that stung like needles and winters that bit into your bones. Consistency wasn't glamorous. It was a grind, a silent promise you made to yourself when no one was watching. Now, as you cross the finish line, the roar of the crowd fades into a hum. Your body aches, but your soul soars. You see it clearly. Every step, no matter how small, was a brick in the monument of your will. Like a mountain climber scaling a peak, you didn't sprint to the top. You endured the slow, deliberate ascent. Each mile was a battle won, each morning a choice to rise. The transformation isn't just in your body, it's in your spirit. You've become someone who doesn't break, someone who builds their own summit. The lesson echoes like a heartbeat. Consistency turns pain into power, and every step, no matter how slow, brings you closer to your peak. Now imagine yourself standing in a bustling office, the hum of success vibrating through the walls. You're an entrepreneur, and this thriving reality your vision brought to life is the result of a decade of unrelenting effort. But rewind 10 years. You were alone in a dimly lit room, scribbling ideas on scraps of paper, your bank account a whisper of hope. Rejection was your daily bread. Investors laughed, partners walked away, and self-doubt was a constant companion. There were nights you wanted to burn it all down, to trade the struggle for an easier path. Why persist when every door slammed shut? Yet you didn't stop. You rebuilt, reshaped, and refused to let failure be your epitaph. Each small win, a single client, a late-night breakthrough, was a foothold on your mountain. Like a climber gripping the rock face, you moved forward inch by inch, even when the summit seemed an impossible dream. Now, as you stand in the heart of your creation, you see the long-term impact of your consistency. This isn't just a business, it's a testament to your unshakable will. The lesson shines brighter than any spotlight. Every deliberate step, no matter how slow, constructs a legacy. You didn't just climb the mountain, you carved your own path to the peak. Pause for a moment and feel the weight of your journey. Consistency is not a sprint across a flat plain. It's a climb up a relentless mountain where every step tests your resolve. You've carried burdens, fear, failure, fatigue strapped to your back like a heavy pack. But what if I told you that weight is not your enemy? It's the very thing that strengthens you. Each struggle, each moment you chose to keep moving, forged muscles of grit in your soul. The transformation isn't just in reaching the summit, it's in who you become on the way up. Think about it. How many times have you wanted to turn back to seek shelter from the storm of effort? How many dreams have you nearly abandoned because the climb felt too steep? Yet here you are, still ascending. The long-term impact of unwavering consistency is not just a destination, it's a revelation. You are not the same person who started this journey. Like a river cutting through stone over centuries, your persistence has shaped you into something unyielding. Every deliberate step, no matter how slow, is a chisel strike, sculpting the masterpiece of your will. So embrace the wait. Let it remind you that the summit is not a gift, it's a reward you've earned. Now imagine standing at the summit of your mountain, the world sprawling beneath you in a tapestry of struggle and triumph. The wind howls, but you stand firm, gazing at the path you've conquered. This is the long-term impact of consistency, a view that only the steadfast can claim. You see now that the climb was never just about reaching the top. It was about discovering what you're made of. The doubts that once clawed at you are specks in the distance. The failures that once loomed like giants are mere stepping stones below. Have you ever wondered why so few reach this height? It's not because they lack talent or vision. It's because they falter when the path grows narrow, when the air thins and the summit seems a myth. But you chose to endure. Consistency is your compass, guiding you through fog and storm. It's the quiet voice that says, one more step, when your legs tremble. And from this peak, the transformation is clear. You've built not just a victory, but a fortress of will that no force can shake. Like a climber who plants their flag at the top, your consistency marks your territory in the realm of greatness. Hold this view in your heart. It's proof that every step, no matter how slow, builds an empire of strength. When the climb feels endless and the summit seems a distant dream, anchor yourself with intention. Consistency isn't about blind effort. It's about deliberate, mindful steps. So here's what you do every morning before the world pulls you into its chaos. Take 5 minutes to ground yourself. Write down one reason why you started this journey, be it a marathon, a business, or a personal goal. Let that reason be your foothold on the mountain. When doubt creeps in, read it. Let it remind you that every step matters. Next, break your climb into smaller ridges. Don't stare at the peak and feel overwhelmed. Focus on the next ledge, the next milestone. If you're training, commit to 1 more mile today. If you're building something, tackle 1 task this hour. Celebrate these small victories. They are the stones paving your path to the top. And finally, when exhaustion hits, pause, but don't stop. Breathe. Ask yourself, am I 1 step from a breakthrough? History is written by those who take that next step. Anchor your resolve and keep climbing. No climber scales a mountain alone, and no dream is built in isolation. Consistency thrives when you surround yourself with those who fuel your ascent. So seek out your crew, mentors, peers, or even a single confidant who believes in your summit as much as you do. Share your vision with them, not for validation, but for accountability. Let them remind you of your path on days when the fog of doubt obscures it. Schedule regular check-ins with this crew, monthly, weekly, or even daily, whatever keeps your fire burning. Discuss your progress, your struggles, and your next steps. Their perspective can be the rope that pulls you up when your grip slips. And remember, consistency is contagious. When you see their dedication, it ignites yours. As Jim Rohn famously said, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Choose climbers who push you higher, not those who drag you down. Build your crew and let their strength reinforce your unshakable will. Let's linger on this thought. The summit is not the end. Even as you stand atop your mountain basking in the transformation consistency has wrought you, see other peaks in the distance. Life is an eternal ascent, a series of climbs, each one shaping you for the next. The long-term impact of unwavering consistency is not a single victory. It's the habit of rising again and again, no matter the terrain. You've learned to trust the slow, deliberate steps to find power in the rhythm of persistence. Have you ever considered what consistency truly builds? It's not just a goal achieved or a dream realized. It's a legacy of resilience. Like a climber who leaves markers for others to follow, your journey inspires. Your transformation ripples outward, showing the world that mountains are not barriers, they are invitations to grow. So as you survey this peak, know that your will is now a force of nature as unyielding as the rock beneath your feet. Every step, no matter how slow, has brought you here, and it will carry you to the next horizon. Keep climbing. Your greatest summits are yet to come. Throughout this ascent, wisdom from those who've climbed before us lights the path. In his timeless work, Atomic Habits, James Clear reminds us, you do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. This truth echoes in the marathon runner story. Each early morning run was a system, a deliberate step that built an unbreakable will. Similarly, in The Power of Habit, Charles Duhigg writes, change might not be fast, and it isn't always easy. But with time and effort, almost any habit can be reshaped. The entrepreneur's decade of grit mirrors this. Reshaping failure into fuel was their habit, their climb. And as Napoleon Hill declared in Think and Grow, rich strength and growth come only through continuous effort and struggle. Your mountain is that struggle, and your consistency is the strength that conquers it. As we stand together on this summit of unshakable will, let's reflect on the journey. You've seen the transformation, how consistency turns sweat into strength, doubt into determination. Through the marathon runner's relentless dawn and the entrepreneur's decade of grit, you've witnessed the long-term impact of staying the course. Every deliberate step, no matter how slow, has brought you to this breathtaking peak. The key lesson resonates like the echo of your footsteps. Consistency is not just a tool, it's the forge of your greatest self. Your mountain is yours alone to climb, but the view from the top is a shared triumph. You've built systems, endured storms, and discovered that the summit is not a destination. It's a testament to your will. As we prepare to face new peaks in the journey of secrets to staying consistent, no matter what, carry this truth with you. Every step shapes your legacy. So plant your flag, take a breath, and ready yourself for the next ascent. The path ahead awaits, and you are unstoppable. Take the next step. Your summit is closer than you think.